There, now you can hear me. Excellent. Thank you, Vita. It's so nice to have you back,
Thanks, honey.
especially on the Sunday that I get to speak.
Yay.
So, yeah, excellent. She's been up in Mount Charleston, just having a gayo time up there where it's cool, which I don't go because I don't like cold.
It's not cold. It's 25 degrees cooler than 120.
That's still cold. That's still cold. That's too cold. Oh, excellent. Repeat after me. I deserve the best in life, and I get it. I deserve the best in life, and I get it. That's what this is all about. Is about affirming for what we want and then creating it. One of the things is I've studied the law of attraction for many years, especially when The Secret came out, and I would have secret parties at my house. And it was about teaching people about the law of attraction so that they could attract into their life what they wanted. Instead of us always saying what we don't want and getting that, because the universe doesn't hear the not, the do not. They only hear, I want this. So remember that whenever you're doing something, I don't want to have that. All you're doing is putting out to the universe that, yes, I want that. And that's usually what you get. So, yay. So I want you to think about, instead of the law of attraction, I want you to think about the law of satisfaction. All right? The law of satisfaction works faster than the law of attraction. Because until you can feel that you are prosperous and have money now in this very moment, let me put it below so I don't do it again. Until you feel that you are prosperous and have money now in the moment, you cannot be prosperous. That's the law. I didn't create it. I just practice it. And I want you to practice it too. I want you to be satisfied with everything that's going on in your life right now. Maybe you have a health issue, maybe you have financial issues, but until you can accept it and bring it into the forefront of your mind and bless it, because it's teaching you something. Isn't that what we learn at Unity? That everything that comes into our life is a lesson that we need to learn. Every time somebody comes into our life that is a, quote, hard or a problem, or they challenge us, those are the blessings in our lives, because those are the ones that are going to teach us to grow and become more than what we ever thought we could. So prosperity isn't just about money. It's about prospering in all areas of your life. It's about being that person that you want to be. Happy, healthy, kind, considerate. And also creating more prosperity, more money in your life. I have this wonderful book, Feel Free to Prosper. I'm tearing it up. I'm tearing pages out of it to carry with me because I don't want to carry the whole book. But it's been awesome because it's telling me all these wonderful things. And one of the things that I loved in here about it, because Marilyn Jeanette is the author of the book, is she writes about when people ask her, what is money? And so she doesn't try to explain it to them. She just went right to the source, Charles Fillmore, which in our daily word, Mildred Fillmore is the co-founder. So Charles is her husband, which was the other co-founder. Spiritual substance, the fundamental basis of the universe. The spiritual substance from which comes all visible wealth is never depleted. It is right with you all the time in response to your faith in it and your demands on it. It is not affected by our ignorant talk of hard times, though we are affected because our thoughts and words govern our demonstration. The unfailing resource is always ready to give. It has no choice in the matter. It must give, for that is its nature. Pour your living words of faith into the omnipresent substance, and you will be prospered through all the banks in the world. Even though all the banks in the world close their doors, turn the great energy of your thinking towards plenty. ideas will come to you, and you will plentifully, regardless of what men about you are saying or doing, you will have that plenty. Have you ever thought that way? That when yes, we had the recession of the 2008, but there were people in there. There were more millionaires made in that time. So I wonder, what was the difference in their thinking compared to the rest of the world? One of the things that I've learned to do is not listen to the news. And the reason is that people are going to tell me what's going on around the world. I don't have to listen to it and be depressed by it, because they never say anything good. They're always telling you all the bad things that are going on in the world. And if you look around your life, you can create the better things when you don't have those things thinking about you. I have so many people tell me, well, you have to know what's going on in the world. And I'm going, I don't have to. I choose not to. That's my choice. And I think I'm a happier person because of it. And when we are happy, that's when we draw that plenty to us, like Charles Fillmore says. It's going on all the time. If you go back 20, 30 years, they had the Great Depression there. They had the Great Depression in the 30s. They had the Great Depression in the, right before World War I. They had the Great Depression. I mean, there was a Great Depression all the time, the way the news talk about it. But there's also this great movement for us to move forward and be above it. Not that we're better than it, but that we are choosing to live a little bit differently. I love prosperity thinking. I tend sometimes not to do it all the time, especially when I look at my bank account. But the thing that I'm learning is that I'm blessing whatever's in there, and I'm watching it get bigger. Every time I open my bank account and I say, I bless you, before I open it, and there's more money in there than what I thought there was. That's always a good point. I love that part. Do you know what a belief is? Do you know how beliefs are created? A belief is just a thought. We all have different beliefs, depending on how we were raised. I was raised that money was hard to come by. Has anybody else had that experience? Money doesn't grow on trees. That's what I heard. And I asked, why not? And my father didn't know what to say. I remember talking one time that my father used to tell me that when our ship comes in, then you will be able to have what you want. Guess what? At the age of 10, I had the rude awakening of finding out that there was no ship. It was depressing. I probably didn't think that, but I was very sad, and I went in my room and cried because all those things that I wanted weren't going to happen now because there was no ship. I think it was a very rude awakening, and I have practiced, now that I'm adult, and have learned about the law of attraction, the law of satisfaction, the unity principles, that you have to practice what you know in order to create what you want. It's all up to you, not somebody else out there is going to give it to you. And that has affected me my whole life. I'm doing another prosperity work, and you have to write down the things that affected you about your prosperity. And I realized that thought that my ship is never going to come in, that belief is still in there in me. And that's one of the things I'm working on, is to release and allow the ship to come. Because it's just a metaphor for life. And I didn't know that as a little girl. But as an adult, I'm understanding now that the metaphor is that it's within me to draw what I want into my life. It's my thoughts that make a belief. People have beliefs about, there's a cold out there, and I'm going to catch it. And I have the belief that I can't catch anything from anybody else. So when everybody else is sick and they're coughing and they're blowing on me and stuff like that, it doesn't bother me because I know I'm healthy. I don't allow their thoughts because they heard it from somebody else. And my ex-husband, that was his belief. Somebody got a cold at work, and the next day he came home and he had a cold. And I told him, I said, if it was really true, wouldn't it be true for me too, that if you came home and I'm around you more than, that I would get the cold, but I don't get a cold? Why is that? It's your belief. So I want you to start questioning some of the things that you say to yourself that you think are beliefs. There is never enough money to make it to the end of the month. That's another belief that people have. If you believe that, that's exactly what you create. Because the universe is so powerful and so wonderful. It gives you what you say, not what you say you don't want. It gives you what you say. So just take the not out of everything. Whenever you say not, just take that out and then look at, what am I saying? What am I actually telling the universe? Not that. No, then say it in a way that's more positive. How can you do that? How can you switch it around? Well, for me, I'm healthy and I have perfect health, even around people that are sick. I refuse to catch anything. It's not that I don't catch it, I refuse. My immune system knows that. And it says, oh, there's a cold going on around me. Da 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 da. It revs up my immune system and it blocks it from happening. Wouldn't it be wonderful if we didn't have to believe all those things that we think that we do? I want you to start questioning your beliefs this week. When you say, I believe this, do you really believe it, or is it somebody else's belief that you just sort of pulled into your own life? I love this one. Everything I put in my mouth turns to fat. I hear that a lot, being a fitness instructor and senior fitness specialist. And we're always working on our bodies. We always talk about it. That's what I've noticed mostly. And the more that you talk about it, the stronger that belief comes. So why not have the belief that whatever I put in my mouth, my body burns off? Which a much better belief. Easier. And that's one of my beliefs. No matter what I eat, I stay my ideal weight. How fun would that be? Sometimes just changing a thought around can make a huge difference for you. So what are some of your beliefs? Or, I love this one, I can never get ahead, something always happens or breaks down that takes the money I saved. Sort of like that. There's a law going on out there. When you're trying to change something, the law comes in and says, we're going to test you a little bit. Is this really true? Do you really believe that you can create more wealth? Do you really believe that? Oh, or make the car break down. It seems like all those things start piling up like that. And then you get discouraged and you go, oh, what the heck? Why am I even bothering to change my thoughts? Because I'm getting all this bombardment. The way that I look at it is that I believe that I'm sort of being tested. Do I really believe that prosperity is in my life right now? I got hit in the parking lot at Sun City and dented in the side of my brand new car. Only had it like a week or so. And it was really interesting, and I've been driving around with this dent in my car because I've talked to a couple places, and one person said 200, another person said 150, and I'm going, you know what, I'm sending love to my car, and I'm going to get it be affordable. I had a gentleman stop me in the parking lot at Caesar's Palace and said, I can fix that. I was watching you drive in, and you have a dent in your side of car. I said, I know. And he goes, how about if I charge you $200, take that dent away right now? And I said, No, that's okay. It's really not worth $200 to me. How about 150? Nope, that's okay. And I'm, packing up to go to my Apple appointment. How about $80? And in my mind, I had thought $80 would be a good price. I said, sure. Took out his tool, took it out, and right then, followed me into the Caesars, into the Forum shops. I went to the ATM, got him out $80. I had my car fixed. How cool was that? They came to me. I didn't have to go to anybody because I said, I don't have the time to go to anybody. That is one of my issues, time. So I'm working on that as prosperity, to create more time in my life to do the things that I want. So think about it. What are your beliefs right now concerning prosperity or concerning money? Do you have a belief that's holding you back from creating what it is that you want? Remember, a belief are just words strung together into a sentence, and if we say them often enough, we take it on. So what are some limiting beliefs in your life that you could change? I want you to think about that for the day. And when you go home, I want you to write down some of your beliefs that you have and start questioning them. Do you really catch something from somebody else? Why is it not, if you did, why is it some people don't get sick and other people do? Do you really believe that somebody's out to get you? Every time you get ahead, you get pulled back down. That's a belief system because you've said it over and over again. It probably happened maybe a couple times, and so then you decided that that was how it was going to be all the time. Yes? Ira laughs. He gets it. So how do we change our beliefs? Got any ideas?
Change your thinking.
Change your thinking. How about change your words? Because words are the ones that tell us. Change your thinking. That's the other thing. Change your thoughts. So the first part about changing a belief is that we have to change our thinking, but we first have to catch those thoughts or those beliefs to know what we are believing about ourselves. So I want you to, just close your eyes for a minute, and I want you to say, in every way, in every day, I'm abundantly prosperous. Every day, in every way, I'm abundantly prosperous. Every day, in every way, I am abundantly prosperous. Do you have that naysayer in there talking to you, saying, no, that's not true? Listen next time when you say something. I want you to start questioning what it is that's going on in your mind, because that's the only way that we can change ourselves. So I want you to create new beliefs that are going to work for you. I created a couple beliefs that are sort of, I don't know, to me they're funny. I created a belief that I'm allergic to chocolate because I couldn't say no to it. And I decided that if I wanted to be healthy and do my healthy lifestyle, chocolate would not be one of those things. So with that comes that whenever I eat chocolate, I break out profusely. So guess what? When somebody invites me to have some chocolate cake, no, I'm allergic to it. And you know what? I started saying it to get people off my back, because when I would go to a friend's house and they would have cake, oh no, you can just have a little piece of it. It's okay, it's not gonna hurt you. Well, I don't know if you're like me, but when I have a little piece of something that I like, I have to have the whole piece and then the whole cake. I can't eat just a little piece of it. I'm the whole cake person. So when I say I'm allergic, nobody tries to make me eat it. Nobody.
But when I eat chocolate, it stops me catching colds.
What he said is, when I eat chocolate, it stops me from catching colds. I love that. See, he's took the belief system good. My other one is I'm allergic to sugar. And I tell you, when I eat sugar, I get the worst stomachache. It is awesome because it stops me from eating sugar. So when there's food out there there's the muffins, there's all that, quote, good stuff. I don't even touch it because I know the response that my body's going to have. So how can you have a belief that's going to work for you? Take something that you're having a hard time like changing and maybe make it into a belief. Make it into a belief. How about money beliefs? That's what we're talking about today. So how about instead of money is hard to come by, money flows easily and effortlessly to me. Money flows easily and effortlessly to me. Say it over and over again till it becomes part of your soul. Every time I open my bank account, there's always more money in it. How awesome is that? And I tell you, and yes, I understand that I am doing things to put that money in there. I teach fitness classes on the side from my job, and I don't even count that money. I mean, I count it for my tithing, but I don't count it as income or whatever, and all of a sudden I realize I've taught like 5 classes in the last week, so that means that my income's gone up $100, $150. And without me even having to think about, because teaching for me is a love of my life. So it's like I'm prospering as I'm teaching. So that's how I see it. So it's like been wonderful. So with prosperity, I want you to start thinking about how can you catch yourself this week on thoughts that you're thinking that are negative about the prosperity. There it goes again. Just out the window, out the door. Think about it. Question, is it really going out the door, or are you allowing it to?
Can you define prosperity for me?
Prosperity is, it could be a prosperity of abundance in money, abundance in health, so whatever you want the prosperity to be. I don't want to define it for you. I'm just giving you some different examples like how I use it.
Anything you want it to be.
Everything you want it to be. Put it out there. All money is an exchange. And when we can look at it as something good, no matter how our circumstances are, we prosper. Money is good. It's the money is evil. Haven't we heard that? Oh, money is evil. People with money are mean. People in money are not nice. How do we know that? Yes, there's always an exception to the rule, but most the time, anybody that I've met that has had plenty of money to be able to support themselves and be able to give back to the community or whatever like that, they're very loving and kind, and they use their money in a positive way. I think that we have to change our outlook on, that's what I've had to do, is change my outlook on those people. Those people are part of me. I am not separate from any of you. So when you're talking about somebody else, guess what? The universe only hears it for you. Oh, those people are evil. They have lots of money. Guess what? The universe doesn't hear it for them. It hears it for you. So that's where you need to, with our beliefs, we have to change them in a way that will prosper us. Think about it for us. How to change a belief? We need to change our words. Then we change our feelings. So when we change our words, our feelings change, yes? And when you get into that feeling place, that's where magic happens. Just to say an affirmation is not enough, right? Isn't that what they always say? Saying an affirmation over and over again. That's what I used to do, because somebody said, oh, if you say affirmations, they'll really help. Yeah, well, just in that moment they helped me. Just in that moment when I was saying the affirmation. It wasn't until I got into the feeling of it. And that's been really hard for me, because I tend to shut down a little bit when it comes to the money thing, because I was told for so long that my ship is never coming in. And I shut down that part of me to believe that I could have wealth. And I remember when I first got my Mercedes, when Chris and I moved here, and I was driving down the road, and I was thinking, oh my God, those people are going to think that I'm just a rich bitch. And I'm not. I'm still the kind person that I was before I got the car. I just really like this car. And it really made me see that it was my thinking that I had put out there for others. I was not cultivating, what is the word? I was projecting, not projecting, but I wanted what they had. You know, I wanted what they had, and I was trying to think, well, they had to do something wrong in order to have it. That was my thinking. Because if they don't have a ship that's coming in, how do they get it? So for me, it was all about learning how to make sure that I felt loving towards the people that I saw had something that I wanted. So now when I drive down the road, and just to let you know what happened to me is that I crashed my Mercedes. I mean, years later, but it was because I was in a really dark place in my life. And everything in my thoughts were negative. And I had just been at a girlfriend's house complaining. I mean, truly complaining and all the fun stuff that goes with that. And in a dark place, and I drove out of her driveway, and really something stupid. My purse was falling off the chair, you know, my seat, the seat next to me. I went to grab it and drove into the parked car. And I broke my drivetrain. And it was more expensive to fix the drivetrain than it was to just get another car. And that was my Mercedes. So it's really interesting. And now when I look back, I say yes. And I learned my lesson well. I really did. Because when that happened, that was like a wake-up call. Like, I am creating what's going on in my life. So what do I really want to happen in my life? And from that day forward, I'm changing. So what happened was, now when I see a Mercedes, I say, that's for me. Way to go. I love that car. That's for me. I choose to have that now. And I know I'm getting closer because I'm seeing them more often. And that's what the universe says. When you start seeing something a lot, then you know that you're manifesting and you're bringing it closer to you. So everywhere I go now, I see that. So think about what it is that you want. And when you see somebody else that has it, bless them. Gosh, I'm so excited that you get to have that, because that shows me that I can have that now too. Because I manifested seeing you in that car, or seeing you in that home, or seeing you in an outfit. I don't care what it is that you're working on in your life. Until you feel that you are prosperous and have money now, in this moment, you cannot be prosperous and have money now. Until you feel it. Until you feel that you are prosperous. So how do you do that? Read books that are going to uplift you and make you feel good. Sometimes you don't even have to read. She says in the book that you don't even have to read about prosperity. All you have to do is read something that makes you feel happy. Go on to the internet and go, happy news stories. Don't, because on the, like my Safari, when it comes up, they always do the feed. I stopped doing MSN because I got so caught up in all the, what's going on? Oh my gosh, I'm not doing anything about it right now to help it. So I don't want to send any more negative energy to it to make it worse. So turn it off, look for the happy news. Oh, somebody rescued a dog, or a dog rescued a person. And they saw him slip down into I think it was a drain hole, and the dog just sat there barking until somebody came over and looked down there, and there was a child. And they were able to get the child out because the dog made enough noise. That's what you have to do. You have to make enough noise in your head for what it is that you want. Don't pretend, I tend to sometimes be very quiet around people I don't know. And I'm learning that, you know what? This is who I am, and I'm not going to hide who I am anymore. Yes, be who you are. It's okay. And I can send love to anybody. Yeah, I know. Pete. Maria puts up with it all the time. Somebody has to. So what do we want to do? We want to change our words. We want to change our thoughts. And then we change our feelings. That's 3 steps. I know my talk says 4 simple steps, but I forgot what I wrote to Sophia about. So when I was putting together my talk, I said, okay, I'm just going to do 3 because that's what I have, and it works really good for my talk. Okay, so change our words. We do that by affirmations. So start listening to how you talk to yourself. That's all you got to do is listen. And then start writing down what you're hearing, and then rewrite it to what it is that you want. Sometimes do you look in the mirror and go, oh my gosh, when did that happen? Yeah, when did that happen? All right, so then what it is that you want. You know, I am strong and powerful, and I create whatever I want in my life. Change your thoughts. This is a biggie for my daughters and myself. And I share this story about when Casey was a little girl. And I put a bathing suit on her, and when she had it was a 2-piece bathing suit, and she started crying. And I thought it was too tight, and what it was she thought her stomach or her tummy was too fat to wear the bathing suit. And that crushed me because those are my words. My stomach's too fat. I can't wear this outfit. That was my mother's words. My stomach is too fat. I have to wear a blouse over it. That was my grandmother's thoughts. She came to visit me when my girls were little. And it was really, I loved having, my grandma's like, you know, she was the love of my life. She still is. I still emulate her as a grandmother. And when she came to stay with us for a couple weeks, when we were living in Hawaii, and she started talking about her body. And I don't ever remember hearing her say those things when I was younger, but as an adult, of course, I was picking up on it. I was in fitness. That's, you know, all I hear all the time, so of course I'm tuned into it. And I finally just said one day, I just grabbed her by her shoulders, and she was shorter than me now. I felt really tall. And I looked at her and said, Grandma, please don't say those things about yourself, because I love you just the way you are. I emulate you. I want to be the kind of mother you are, and one day be the kind of grandmother you are. You are my role model. And she was like shocked. She goes, really? And I said, I talked to my sister. I can tell you, my sister, Sue, said the same thing. When she had her first grandchild, she goes, I want to be just like Grandma. Emulate that person that you want to be like and grow above it. Change your thoughts so that you can then change your feelings. And you know, from that day forward, when she was with us, she would go to say something, and she said, nope, I like myself. And I think it was probably the first time in her life, because I remember she told me stories of her when she was little, and that her grandmother told her, or her mom told her, that she could never say anything nice about herself because that would be conceited. So she could never say anything nice. And that's how she grew up. I want my daughters to be able to say good things about themselves. I want them to pass it on to their children. I have the opportunity to watch my grandchildren, and I tell Gianna, you are amazing. She goes, I know. And I, you know, just the way she thinks and she talks nonstop. And I just was like so thrilled this morning when she came in, I could put on her new little princess dress that I got her. And she goes, oh, Grandma, don't I look darling? And I said, yes, you do look darling. So think about it. Go back to as a child. Go back to as a child. And how do you want your adult person to be from what you learned as a child to take with you? What a great way to come forward far enough that you can change who you are. We're just child of God. We're kids of the King. That's what Joey told me. How cool is that? And if we are a child of God, he doesn't make junk. When I was in Al-Anon, that was my mantra. I'm a child of God. God doesn't make junk, so I must be okay. That was what I said all the time. I must be okay because I'm a child of God and God doesn't make junk. That was my mantra. And I tell you, it got me through a really rough time. And you notice how you go through rough times and then you get it together. And then what do? You stop doing what you know to do, and then you hit a rough spot, and then you have to go back and then put those pieces back together. So I want you to think about it now. My goal is to continually move forward so that I am growing and becoming more of who I want to be, and not letting fear hold me back, not letting my negative thoughts hold me back. Remember, a while ago it was age. I'm too old. I can't do that. They don't hire me. Now I'm working for a senior center, and I'm young in their eyes. What a great place to be. New beliefs create new actions, and actions move us forward to new demonstrations in our life. That's all it is. So we start. Change our words, change our thoughts, change our feelings, which create new beliefs. When we have those new beliefs, we create new actions, and actions move us forward to new demonstrations in our life. So, I wanted to give you something, a little homework to do. I always like homework. Don't I give homework to my students? But nobody ever does it. That's okay. If you want to attract abundance and money, there is a price to pay. That price is a total shift in your consciousness. So if you're not creating the abundance that you want, it's about our consciousness. Are you ready to play into prosperity? Most people say, you're ready to work? No, I don't want to work. We're going to play. This is playtime. So the written word is more powerful than just saying it. The written word, writing it out by hand, is more powerful than saying it, because it gets into your DNA, it gets into your motor skills, it gets into everything. So you're going to say 25 times, writing it out each day. And I have the affirmation in the basket, so you're just going to grab one as you go. It's not a real long affirmation, just enough that you say it. And then the next thing is you only say positive statements to anyone about your finances, including yourself. Okay? Can we do that? So here at Unity, we talk to each other, and if somebody says, oh, I'm having a hard time financially, oh, no, you're just being challenged right now, and how can we say it differently? I'm looking at this in a new way. I'm experiencing a new sense of what this prosperity means. I am still prosperous. Just because my bank account shows me that I'm not, doesn't mean that I'm not prosperous here. Because when you own it here and here, then you'll own it on your paper. Be thankful for everything. So every night, so 3 things you have to do. Write out your affirmation 25 times. Only say positive statements to anyone about your finances and your life, and your weight, and your whatever you're working on. Use it for that too. It doesn't have to be just prosperity. Then be thankful. So then get your journal. So just get a little journal out. Write down your affirmation 25 times. Then make a pact to yourself in the morning that when you go out during the day, you say positive things about everything. And then be thankful. So in your journal, at the end of the day, you write down what it is that you noticed that made you happy. Write down how you were able to turn things around in your prosperity. Maybe you're thinking that day, somebody said something. Oh, why don't you choose to say it this way so that you can create more of it? Because you're going to hear it all the time. People are going to say, oh, what are words? Words, it starts with words to create a belief. Remember, it starts with words. We say something enough, and we start to believe it. That's all it is. It's a process. And in time, whenever you talk negatively about yourself, you'll be able to stop it and say, I go backwards and say, no, what do I want instead? What do I want to say instead? And with that, I just want to say that this life is so amazing. And it's where we choose to focus that's going to give us more of what we want and less of what we don't. It's about 3 simple steps. Writing down your affirmation. Stop the negative talk. And what's the third? Feeling. And that's where you write out your journal. Where was the good points in your day so that you can relive it, and when you go to sleep at night, you're having those wonderful thoughts. Can we say it again? Affirmation, write it out. Saying an affirmation is good. Do it during the day, but until you write it out, do you get it within your soul? All right? It's that writing that makes it happen. Not typing. So some of us are going to probably have to go back and relearn how to write because we've been typing for so long. And like with kids in school now, they're not even teaching them how to cursive write. That's, I think, is really sad because it's for the brain, not for the eye. It's for the brain. So say it again. What's the first one? Affirmation. How? Write it down. What's the second one? Eliminate the negative thoughts by catching yourself. That's all you got to do is catch yourself, and you can just go, whoop, oh, no, what do I want to say instead? And the third one is feel it and be thankful. Feeling thankful all day long creates more energy coming to you in a positive way, right? Yes, no? Yes. All right, so let's do it. When you get you grab an affirmation, they're in different colors. So you can grab like maybe your favorite color, so it'll make it easier for you to do it. Put it on your bathroom mirror. Every time you're looking at it, shaving or brushing your teeth or anything, you can be saying it, but make sure you write it out 25 times. Not 10, not 20 or 23. And I timed it. It's only going to take you less than 10 minutes to do that. It's not a long affirmation, okay? So can we give ourselves 10 minutes in a day? Yes. And then really, I want you to be aware and have fun catching yourself. Oh, where did that thought come from? Oh, I'm going to replace it with, I deserve the best coming into my life. I think that's what the affirmation was. Where did I put it? Yeah, whatever. It's in the basket. You can do it. So repeat after me. I deserve the best in life, and I get it. I deserve the best in life, and I get it. Now, you know when you're standing up here and people do that, it's like, I deserve the best in life, and I get it. Now, you're going to say it with feeling, right, Elizabeth? I deserve the best in life, and I get it. And sometimes when you add that action to it, that's what Tony Robbins does. When he does a fire walk, you have to get into that feeling place of it, and you have to come up with your own move that will move you across the fire. I did a fire walk twice. And then it was like, okay, what's my move? What's my move? What's my move? And yes! So, let's get a move. Come on, move a little bit. Are you ready? Yes! To your life. Yes. Yes. Well, with that, now you got to settle down and we got to go into meditation. Settle down. We got to settle down. All right. Let's go into meditation. He's going to get the lights for us, Owen. Oh, yes. And Miss Vita's going to come back and share with us. Life is grand, and then it gets better. Close your eyes. Sit in a comfortable position with your feet on the floor, preferably uncrossed, just so that you can let the energy flow from the top of your head down into the earth. And we're going to do just a different kind of meditation. It's going to be the one command. Take a deep breath in. Slowly exhale. Good. Another deep breath in. I want you to feel the bottom of your feet on the floor. And you're going to imagine your energy going down into the earth, deep, deep, deep into the earth. Go all the way to the center of the earth, that molten lava. And feel the energy, that powerful energy, now rising up, up, up. And you're drawing that energy up into the bottom of your feet and into your heart. Take a nice deep breath in. And as you exhale, just surround yourself with love and light. You're surrounding yourself with love and light. You are a powerful human being. And imagine there's a string attached to the top of your head, and you're going to pull your essence of yourself out of your body and draw it up into the sky. You're going up, 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 way up into the sky, past Jupiter and past Saturn and past Pluto, all the way up, past the Milky Way, all the way into infinity. And you see a light above you, and you draw your essence into that light. And now that light surrounds you, and you feel completely loved, completely whole, and completely cherished, just for who you are. Just for who you are. You are a magnificent being in this world and in this universe. And now, repeat after me in your mind's eye. I don't know how. I am prosperous in all areas of my life. I only know that I am, and I am fulfilled now. Take it in. Feel that prosperity surround you and fold you in its light and love. I don't know how. I am a powerful human experiencing life in the physical. I only know that I experience life in the physical now, and I am so grateful and fulfilled. I don't know how. Prosperity is my middle name, and I wear that prosperity with grace and kindness and love. I only know that this is so now, and I am so grateful and fulfilled. I don't know how. I surround myself with people who cherish me and love me as I am, just like I love myself. I only know that I do this now, and I am fulfilled and so grateful. Now just settle into that prosperity. You're flowing in it. It's circling you or surrounding you, coming a part of you. You are a prosperity thinker. You are strong and capable of creating whatever it is that you want in your life. And we're going to bring it into our DNA, because we're going to unwind our DNA. Just imagine that helix. And it's just unwinding and releasing any negative thoughts that hold you back from creating the prosperity, love, and abundance that you desire. Just feel it just disband and break away. And now rewind your DNA. Bring it back together as that prosperous, loving person. Feel it. Enfold it within your body. You are powerful beyond your own imagination. Whenever you doubt yourself, just remember, you are that powerful human experience. Now slowly bring your consciousness right back down, coming back down, 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 back into your body. Feel everything settle. And feel that change within you. You are now that prosperous, loving, kind, amazing person. You share your gifts with others. You send love out from your heart to their heart. Even when it's somebody difficult in your life, send that love to them because that's all they really want. And they don't know how to create it for themselves. Give a compliment. Sometimes it's hard to think of something nice to say, but I know you can. And you'll discover how good it feels to lift somebody else up. Feel your weight settle down into the bottom of your feet. Feel yourself being grounded back into the chair. Take a nice, slow, deep breath in. And know that you are prosperous. You are amazing. You can do anything you choose to do with love, with peace, with kindness. One more deep breath in. Relax your shoulders down. And draw in that perfect prosperity. It could be of health, can be of kindness, can be of money. You choose. It's your right. And when you're ready, open your eyes and return to the room.